Hello everyone and welcome to the 14th episode of Fictional Characters Collide. And remember to check out the animator, the Monster King, for this amazing animation. And now, let's get on to the fight. In tonight's episode, we got the battle of the Reptilian Ninjas. Leonardo, the leader of the TMNT from, well, TMNT, and the Reptilian assassin, Reptile from Mortal Kombat. It's your rule of great demon here. It's my job to analyze both these characters to see what would happen when these two fictional characters collide. The world is in danger. The mastermind known as Shredder has almost completed his goal of total destruction. The world needs heroes. In that world, and they were called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. These four brotherly ninjas are mutated turtles since birth after being flushed down the toilet and trained by Master Splinter. Had chosen to work together to defeat Shredder in more ways than more than one occasion. But they couldn't do it without their leader and brother, the blue mask wearing badass, two-sword swinging fighter himself, leader of the TMNT, Leonardo himself. Leonardo is the leader of the TMNT and is always the man with a quick plan and always has to keep his brothers in line to make sure no one fights. He is fast enough to dodge gunfire and lasers and skilled enough to beat Shredder by himself on multiple occasions. He defeated Shredder in many different forms. He was also able to fight against other members of the TMNT as well, but lost to Raphael on some occasions. He even lost to Batman in the new comic, if people saw that. But it could make sense when he fights the Dark Knight, even though he lost to you-know-who in my series. And he has two weapons with him to help him fight against his enemies and brothers. Is two Ninjakin swords and ninja shurikens, and also bombs with him as well. The Ninjakins are known as katanas since these are bented and curved like an actual katana. He handled two of these swords with ease and showed he could cut through anything, but they have been broken before by the size of Raphael. And also been taught by the Ancient One and Master Splinter in the ways of the samurai and sword. He has far more battle training and experience and killing than any of the members of the TMNT. And has far more battle skills as well. And he also knows how to hide and fight in shadows like an actual ninja himself. And Leonardo has superhuman durability and strength as well. He also has hypersonic reaction to danger itself. It can easily dodge danger. He dodged laser and rapid gunfire on multiple occasions and survived other people with the same fighting style like him. And if one of his plans falls, he gets confused and needs time coming up with a new one quick. That's not an issue since he has gone in fights without a plan before and still came out on top. And Leonardo has defeated people like Cyber Shredder, Utom Shredder, and Dragon Shredder, and other trained martial artists and ninjas with longer and more training than him. Not to mention robots, mutants, and other beings on a daily basis. So to him, fighting unusual beings and monsters is nothing new to him. He's even so powerful that he fought the Spirit Forge, so powerful that the Spirit Forge himself said he shouldn't be handling a weapon. So Leonardo is powerful ass-kicking Ninja Turtle, if you can say that. But even if he is a powerful turtle, he still lost fights against Raphael and needs his plan to work. If he fails, he runs back and needs to come up with a new one quick. But even if his plans work at the end of the day. Bringing victory for him and his brothers in saving the day once again. He even survived being impaled twice by swords at the same time, and always uses his ninja abilities blend into the shadows to have the upper hand against his enemies. But even so, with all that, he still does all this. He can save the world. That's why he's known as the leader of the TMNT. So all in all, Leonardo is one of the most highly skilled ninjas in the TMNT. Fought Shredder in many different forms. He'd even been trained by the Ancient One and Shredder. But if his plan does fail, he has to retreat to come up with a new one. But is he strong enough to go up against Reptile? Everybody knows the game Mortal Kombat. It is a world with many different characters come to fight for fame and glory of the highest magnitude. We have Hellspawn ninjas, human celebrities and soldiers, cryomancers, even four-armed monsters, barbarians that can push your head down into your torso like it's fucking paper mache, people. That's freaking terrifying. But there's one character that is different than the others in his own kind of way, and was also the first secret character that appeared in the arcade original of Mortal Kombat. That character is the Reptilian assassin himself, Reptile. Reptile is the only living being left of his race called the Carmelians. Really original, being the last of your race, you know? like we haven't seen that before. His race are human-like lizards that can learn the ways of the ninja. But instead of learning or blending in into the shadows, he says fuck that and turn himself invisible anytime he can, and you can literally rip and eat his enemies' heads right off with ease. He also has the ability to spit out acid from his mouth and melt his opponent's body to mush. He can even use his own tongue to eat his opponent's head off from across the field. You know, after hearing all that, it makes me want to be part of a religion myself, if you think about that. That's kind of be really badass, shooting acid and eating with your tongue. But that can also be a bad idea. Reptile is shown to be a pushover in the canon story of Mortal Kombat universe, having a bad losing streak. He even lost to Cabal before he got powerful and OP as balls. And even though he shows to be a ninja, he doesn't really do anything ninja-like unless you count turning invisible. But it doesn't really help if his enemies can hear where he's coming from. He also has joined the forces of evil in Armageddon and fought Cyrax and crippled him also. But just like every character, he has a special move called the Fatalities. These fatalities are different in each game, and these are instant finishers when he takes down and weakens an enemy. And he has some of the most weirdest fatalities and the most gruesome as well. Using these gives him the full control of his enemies and can't counter-attack when he uses them. He has the Bad Breath, Acid Breath, the Acid Pull, the Body Eat, the Justice Scratch, the Transplant, Weight Loss, and the Acid Yak. You see a pattern in these moves, people? Most of them are acid related, is because whatever his race is, it has acid in their body that can spit out any time and can melt any of his enemies. Even machines and gods can be melted and killed by his acid, and he's known how to use it in the best ways to win against his enemies. And he has super sharp claws he can use to rip his enemies apart. He also uses most of the way of fighting is a full frontal fight so he can overpower his enemies and win fast before they attack him. And he achieved many feats. He was part of the elite forces of darkness before. He has crippled Cyrax, can rip through his enemies like paper, and can turn invisible. He also has acid that can poison and even glow through metal. But he still does have his weaknesses. He has a bad rep sheet in fighting in the canon story. He has lost more fights than actually won. He doesn't even use his ninja-like abilities. It can be ripped apart like paper when he's weakened. And he lost to Cabal people. Still, he lost to Cabal. You can't be that good if you lost to Cabal. But despite that, he's still one deadly reptilian motherfucker. His reptile is one, it might be the last of his race, but he still was able to cripple people like Cyrax, can melt people with ease and rip them apart, but he does have a bad rep sheet in fighting. But is he strong enough to fight off Leonardo from the TMNT? Let's find out. Okay, these two combatants are set, now let's dispel this bait. It's time for fictional characters collide. What an amazing fight. Remember to check out the animator once again, the Monster King, for this amazing animation. Now let's talk why Leonardo would win this fight. The reason Leonardo won this fight is that he has more combat experience and reaction speed that can triumph over anything that Reptile has. Even he's fast enough to go against Reptile's acid spitting and tongue as well. You could say that Reptile's visibility can help with an easy victory, but it's kind of compared to a being who had to learn to go against that and can use the ninja abilities to blend in the shadows more often to someone who doesn't even use it. Even though Reptile says he's a ninja, he never really shows that he is one. Also, Leonardo has been trained by the Ancient One and Splinter in the ways of swordsmanship as well, while Reptile doesn't even have that kind of training. Let's just talk about the Ninjakins. That's a really bad thing. It's kind of like bringing swords into a fist fight. It's pretty much what it means. Also, Reptile has lost more fights than Leonardo. He lost to Cabal in the canon story mode, while Leonardo fought stronger and crazier beings like Krang and Shredder on multiple occasions and different worlds. He even beat the embodiment of Satan himself twice. And fighting ninjas is nothing new to Leonardo either. He fought against his brothers all by himself at one point as well. So fighting a reptilian ninja like Reptile isn't something new. And also he has great reaction speed. He can dodge that acid spit faster than Reptile can spit it. Come on. So in this fight, we have to give it to Leonardo. And also remember to check out the animator one more time. But right now, it's time for the next fight. Next time on Fictional Characters Collide.